Hello friends, today we are going to study the pin. This is a basic chess tactic and today I will show you every single example and I'll help you master it. Let's go. We are using the tool lichess.org and using the practice feature. The first position is about an absolute pin. Here we have a dark square bishop. So we will play bishop to d4 to pin the king and the knight. Take the knight and the puzzle is solved. Here again we have a dark squared bishop, which means the pin will be on a dark square. This is definitely another absolute pin. Let's go. Bishop to a3. We attacked the rook and black had no way to defend it. If the rook moved, the king would be hanging, which means the rook move is not allowed. Now we take the rook. The puzzle is solved. Easy, right? Let's go. Bishop to c3 here is another relative pin. Here, the pin is there, but how do we exploit it? We cannot just take the knight. That will give black the opportunity to take our rook with their pawn. Instructive movement here. We exploit the pin using our lower value thing, which is the pawn. f4, and now we take the knight. So here, what is being pinned and what is being attacked? Let's check it out. The queen is a very powerful piece in pins along with the bishop. So they are both eyeing at the king side. For example, this pawn is pinned to the king. So if we just take the knight, this pawn cannot recapture because that will be illegal. So we take the knight. The puzzle is solved. Easy. Now we have to exploit another pin. How do we exploit it? We don't have a very big advantage. There is only a very slight advantage and we also have to gain material. The pawn is defended only by the knight and the rook, while we have two attackers, which is the rook and the knight. For example, if we take this pawn, then the puzzle is solved because if the knight took the pawn, then the rook would be hanging. This time, we have another pinning position. We are a piece down. We can take the bishop and regain our piece, but do we have anything better? Let's check it out. This bishop is doing an excellent job pinning this pawn, while this bishop isn't pinning anything. So what would this pawn be doing? It's a defensive resource. So we can take the g6 pawn. They cannot recapture. And now we just take the bishop with our bishop, which would be checkmate in 1. Another example of exploiting the pin here is the queen could potentially be pinning the queen because the king is behind it. Pins are usually only on the same color complexes. For example, a light square pin can only be done on a light square, while a dark square pin can only be done on a dark square. Let's go. Here, we could take the pawn if the queen did not defend it. If we take the pawn with the rook, the queen cannot do anything as the queen eyes the white king. We take the pawn, but the puzzle isn't over yet. We have only one pawn advantage, which is not enough to win the game. If we trade the queens, that's not a very instructive tactical example, so that cannot be the move. If we could go rook to g3, we would have easily win the queen. But the bishop is already pinning the f2 pawn. So now rook to g3 is possible. They could not capture our queen because that would be another pin. Now we take the queen. And now you know how to master the pin. Congrats!